Well, a very special good morning, Ladon. Good morning, Bahamas. This Hump Wednesday, we're here this morning at the intersection of Frederick Street and Shirley Street. Already this morning, we've seen that several pedestrians have been making their way from the Shirley Street area right on down to the northern end of Frederick Street. Several buses waiting there to take those persons through various locations throughout the capital here this morning. Also, in regards to vehicular traffic, we've seen a steady build-up to cars in this area, but of course we know this is an important thoroughfare for many persons making their way throughout town this morning. And of course, this morning we are joined by Sergeant Cressenia Johnson, from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, who is giving us a look at some important matters happening over the past 24 hours. Good morning. How are you?
A pleasant good morning to you and a pleasant good morning, Bahamas. We're coming out of the night shift. We've had 15 accidents in traffic department, investigated 9 of those. We've also had 5 matters involving injury, and we had one involving a young child in the Johnson Road area who was severely injured as a result of that accident. So we're encouraging the general public, especially in matters like those, before driving and while driving, to take the necessary precautions so we can avoid incidents or accidents such as those.
Now, one of those things, obviously we aren't able to talk about too much of the details at this time, but one of those details that I'd like to give to many of those at-home viewers who are watching the show at this time, when they're leaving their driveways, to really be cautious as they're reversing.
Yes, because like we had this morning, we have persons who are traversing the streets early in the morning. We know the lighting conditions are usually, it's dark, transitioning into the light. You want to be able to see, use your mirrors, check around your vehicle, even check your vehicle before you leave your residence, leave work, wherever it is. Check again, and check again.
Yeah, and of course, if not children, of course, other pedestrians are making their way throughout the streets. But of course, that's an initial look at traffic. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, especially at this intersection here, many persons use this as a connecting hub into the downtown area. Some persons merging onto Market Street. How should they maneuver? We know, of course, we should use signals, but any special advice for drivers?
Well, like we've seen here this morning, when you're coming around this curve, especially coming off of Shirley Street and coming here to Frederick Street, we saw that a lot of people, they didn't pay attention to the light. And we had persons stopping suddenly instead of stopping when the yellow light was on. So we realized that, hey, you may be in a rush trying to get to your location, but it's safety, road safety, taking necessary precautions again. You have to be, like I say, your brother's keeper. You have to watch the street, pay attention to the traffic control lights, allow pedestrians to cross. Even if your light is about to turn on red, allow some leeway for your pedestrian traffic.
Yeah, I know, like many, many of us are winding down to those last few minutes. We want to get to work on time. But if it's at the cost of someone's life, it's definitely not worth it. And so, of course, some good information there. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up here?
Well, I just wanted to mention, we've seen a lot of people coming in who does not have their vehicles licensed and insured, and they permit other people to drive their vehicles while not having them covered under third-party risk insurance. I know this is a big topic, and going into the new year, we want to decrease any acts of this kind. If you were to purchase a vehicle, have the vehicle transferred into your name. Don't wait until that time is up on the vehicle, say if it's for June or July. Right away, get that vehicle transferred into your name to avoid any precautions, to avoid anything that's going to cost you under the Road Traffic Act.
And of course, that's a look at some basic traffic information for you. I want to send a quick shout out to all the teachers out there getting ready this morning. I know you guys continue to work hard and keep pushing. But LaDawn, thank you so much. Reporting back to you in studio.